Okay, we are live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. Let me just go live here on Instagram. Okay. We are live here. Welcome to this live. Okay. I think we are live. I think we are live. Okay. We are live on YouTube too. Yes, we are live. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening here from Ireland. It's 10 o'clock here in Ireland now, 10 p.m. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Hello, hello. Now, welcome to today's live. The accent show today is welcoming a very special guest. Today's guest, he is Brazilian, like me, and differently from all the other guests that I had so far, who are native speakers of the language, of the English language. So today he's Brazilian, and what makes this guest so special is that he is a self-taught polyglot. So he speaks many different languages. And I'm so excited to talk to him today. And I'm going to invite him in now. Just bear with me. And so just 1 second, invite. And let me know, where are you all from? Because today's guest, he can speak in different languages. So maybe he can speak to you guys in your languages. Hi, Jonathan. Welcome. Yeah, all good. Welcome to the live. Thanks for making some time to be here today. And as I was saying before, I'm very excited for this live because you're a self-taught polyglot, and that's very incredible. And I'm very honored to have you here today and to give us some tips of your tell us a story, teach us what you learned, along the way in your journey of learning new languages. So if you want to introduce yourself.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. Look, more than excited to be here. And by the way, one question before I just meant though, should I speak just a bit slower or just go,
I think you can speak a little bit slower. I don't know where our followers are watching, so they might be learning as well. So if you speak a little bit slower, it might be easier for all of them.
Definitely makes sense. Okay, perfect. Okay, so hello everybody. It's always very nice to be here. So my name is Jonatha. People usually call me John because I tend to speak English for most people, right? So foreigners don't really know Jonatha, as like we say in Brazil. So John is easier. So polyglot meaning I learned all the languages that I speak on my own, right? So studying on YouTube, on Spotify, like different, sources like these. So that currently I'm 25 years old. I live in Rio, so born and raised in Rio, which for the people that don't know, if you are born and raised in Rio, you are a carioca, right? So a carioca.
We both are, right? By the way.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Yes, exactly. We both have beautiful history in this incredible city, right? So carioca, and that's about it. Nowadays, actually, since 2016, if I'm not mistaken, since 2016, I've been working with languages over, so most specifically English, which started, right, with English. Then in 2019, I focused on it, tried, right, and succeeded in learning French. Then eventually, like every different year, every following year, I went into the language, tried to learn it failed and got so yeah.
And
That's it. In love with languages, I love the bird. Trying to spread knowledge to people.
And that takes me to our next question. What languages do you speak? And then if you can tell us a little bit more of your process to learn each language.
For sure, yeah. So currently, as of now, I speak 6, right? So these 6 would be like fluently, let's say. So Portuguese, of course, right? Brazilian Portuguese. I would say more of an American English, British, or French, Italian, Spanish. Right? So these are the ones that I speak, but I also know a tiny little bit of a couple of other ones, like Japanese, like Maltese, just off languages like that.
Yeah.
I came across people here and stuff like that, but it's mostly these things,
And I was watching one of your videos. I think you're talking to a Moroccan guy. By the way, I think someone from Morocco is here watching as well.
Yeah, I saw, yeah.
And I think you switched to, if I'm not mistaken, to French. Did you try to speak a little bit of Moroccan as well?
I did. That's like crazy, like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, because I have a couple of Moroccan friends, so they taught me that.
And how do you switch so easily and so quickly from one language to another? In my head, it's easier for me because I only speak 2. So it's easier to kind of focus where I want to go. But like so many languages in your head, how your brain works to switch from one to other.
Yeah, look, I believe this is like the key word in learning anything, just getting good at a specific student life, which is iteration. Also, like, it's just a more fancy word, let's say, for repetition, right? So you just, practice makes perfect, people say, right? So
yeah.
I literally been practicing this, like, switching abilities, switching skills. I believe since I was a kid, because I was introduced to the English language with like hip-hop, rap music, rock, and then movies and stuff like that. So sometimes I would be listening to something like that, and my parents would ask me, "What are they saying? What is this about?" I would try, and then sometimes I would get to do it, so I had to research, I had to translate. So I've been doing this sort of stuff, like researching, trying, failing. So iteration is trying for a long time. So you just get used to it.
And I think it's important to mention as well, have you been, I saw this in one of your videos, but I want you to tell the viewers as well. Have you been out of Brazil or not yet?
No, not
so
yet.
Everything you learned was exclusively from Brazil, online or with other sources?
Yes. So far. I only get to like South Brazil, so just Brazil and like Minas Gerais, Rio, so they're South.
Yeah.
So, as a matter of fact, in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, I had the chance, like, to do it, but one of the challenges, let's say, that I wanted to impose myself was, like, most Brazilians and maybe most people in the world, they don't have the chance to travel like that, because of financial reasons, because of they care of family, whatever it is, they can't do it, right? Like,
yeah.
So I was like, well, if I'm in the same situation and then I actually managed to learn these other languages, like these polyglots, I was checking on YouTube and stuff like that, I can tell everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, let's try this. And then if I get like these people clearly did, we can help literally.
And that's what is so amazing because in my case, I had to move out of Brazil to learn English. I always hated English. My relationship with English was always love and hate because I wanted to know, I needed to know, but I didn't really want to study to learn it. So for me, what it worked for me, I had to be immersed in a way that I had to be kind of like obliged to be immersed. So that's what it worked for me. I had to move out of Brazil. But I think is so cool about your channel and what you're teaching in your channel is that you don't need to leave your country to learn a language and to learn any language, because you speak six languages only. And I used to say, like, if I could have a superpower, I wish I could speak all the languages in the world. And you're almost there, almost there. Like you're in the right direction. So well done to you. It's really incredible, and you're a live example that we can learn from, no matter our location, geographic location, our life situation. We can learn any languages from anywhere.
Yeah, look, I appreciate that. Wholeheartedly. But that's the point. It's like, it's because I saw people like that. You know what I mean? It's like, we have this like psychological concept, which is you can only do things that you know are doable, right? So if you don't see anyone, that has achieved that level of competence or knowledge or whatnot in something that you genuinely want to do or want to develop, or want to be.
So you had an example to follow as well.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So if you don't have that, usually you're thinking of that possibility because, of course, since you don't see it around you, you don't even think, you don't recognize that possibility, right? Because it doesn't exist around you. So the thing that I advocate, that I try to tell people and show, is that our environment nowadays isn't just physical; it's also visual. Right?
Exactly.
And for a lot of people, it's mostly visual.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
If you can actually optimize this, or even both, from wherever you are, to learn anything that you want, ultimately, you can do it. 100%. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to. You just need to search for it.
That's right. And practice, and what you said, practice makes perfect. Don't give up. Keep pushing. It's so doable. And I'm very motivated now because I do love languages, and I keep creating excuses for myself not to learn the next language. So following you now, I just have to, follow your steps and start my next language. I'm just still deciding what's going to be, probably French or Italian, but yeah. And so if you have any tips, actually, that's another question. Any tips that you can suggest, or any apps that you've used, or which methods have you used yourself to learn the languages? And do they change from language to language, or do you use the same methods for all the languages?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you have some, I would say, like, you have, like, like in English, you can say relative. Like,
yeah.
The word.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have umbrella resources.
Okay.
So it's like a website or something like that. You with any language, right? And the niche of learning.
Yeah.
But you also have like websites that might be really good if you are a native English speaker learning Spanish.
Okay.
Because that's the classic problem, at least, right? So, like those results, you have these rights. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like the apps I would slash websites, right? That I have most used throughout all these years, and I recommend to every single person. I would list 3 as the main one. So the first one is reversal context, for anyone that's following us right now. So reversal context, it's kind of like a translator, but I don't like to call it a translator because it's more like a tool for comparing. For comparisons, you know what I mean? Even in the name is like reversal context. So the idea isn't to just like get the word and find the match in the language.
But the context, right?
Yeah, you try to find the context. So it's like, for example, as a Brazilian, if I want to say as in English, like on the other hand, right? Like, yeah, it's true, but on the other hand, this expression I would say by the other side. Right? Because that's how we say in Portuguese, por outro lado.
Yeah, yeah.
But as I had Brazilian students that when we were practicing English together, they would say, John, I get that, but by the other side, they would just go, and keep talking. How we wait. I'm like, yeah, not by the right. So it's like reversal context. In my opinion, like pretty much basically flawless. Like maybe I don't know, 90 to 95% of the time, he just nails it. It's perfect, So it adapts every expression or most expression, right? So that one still helps me a ton. So that the second one would be, and this is mostly focused on English and Spanish.
Okay.
It's a dictionary. It's a dictionary, but it's an app website called Spanish Dict, the dictionary, right? This website app is not only it's free, but because of the possibility that it gives you being free, it's insane that like an app that offers this, which I will tell you now, is free, which is when you look for a word in Spanish or English, whatever, when you click on the pronunciation tab, it actually gives you visual feedback of the native speaker. Okay. So it's like an American guy or a British guy, British woman, pronouncing it, and then you actually have like the syllables, split like that. And then same thing for Spanish. You can choose like Spanish or European Spanish. So it's like European Spanish, they usually put the tongue out way too much. So it's like you're not gonna say Santos, you're gonna say Tango. Okay. Because that's how they talk. I don't know why, but that's how they talk. Right? Yeah. So you can actually pick that up by ear. So it's really good. And again, when I only know because I started to study Spanish, then I found it out because I was looking for apps. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, no way, this is free. Like this is insane. This is free. Yeah. So that one, and the third one I would say is mostly focused on like pronunciation, accent more specifically for languages overall. Is an app called 𝗂𝐴.
𝗂𝐴.
Like
okay.
Altogether, 𝗂𝐴. It's kind of mistaken. It's actually done by Amazon. Weirdly, I don't know why they did it, but it's powered by Amazon. If I'm not mistaken. So same way, same approach, same idea. It gives you a list of languages, and specifically you can pick the accent that you want. So you can choose between, for example, British English, American English, Australian English, Indian English. Like you can pick whatever you want, and it actually changes, right? Or like European Spanish, like American Spanish, Argentinian Spanish, Mexican Spanish, and you have it like literally the palm of your hand. That's great. Insane. Yeah. And I like to emphasize that this is crazy because I have read a ton of books that are focused on language learning from 1980s, 1990s, even before, and their dream back then was to be able to access to like native speaker content, let's say like that. That didn't exist, right? Yeah. It didn't happen. Either you travel or you just bought like a book and dictionary. Or in school, they used to play that, like here even in English language schools, sometimes here, but like in Brazil, when we learn in school, they play a disc and you hear the very robotic sound of, hi, my name is, and that's not really like people talk on daily basis, and it's so robotic. And now that we have the internet and we can connect to people, we are from the same place, but we connected with you being there in Rio and me in Ireland, and that's literally on the other side of the world. Yeah, exactly. And with the internet, we have access to everything, and so great. And that's another question that just came to my mind as well. You're talking about the pronunciation, and what do you suggest for pronunciation, improving your accent? Do you watch movies? What do you do? Tell us. Okay, so this is very individual because the one thing that I tell people is, and by the way, the reason I told you that the idea of the course and everything, I tend to just give the resources, the tools, and be like, look, this is how you use it, go. Right? Okay. It's because I extremely value individuality. You know what I mean? Because it's by, let's say, respecting your tastes, your likes and dislikes, and your time, being patient with yourself, that it will be sustainable, right? That you will keep doing it every day, because it's not going to be a test. It's not going to be like you, or we don't need to be on the person's back. Like, did you study? We don't need to do that, because it's cool. It's nice. It's a good time. You enjoy it, right? So just to, like, as a disclaimer, I really try to focus on doing what I like.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah,
with the language as a part of it.
Have fun while at it.
Like, yeah, because for example, if you tell me, yeah, you know, look, it would be really good for you to improve your some English, for you to watch like documentaries about. If I don't like that, I'm not gonna do it.
It's not gonna be joyful for you, and you're not gonna want to do it.
And it's not just the point that it's like it's not gonna be joyful. It's not gonna be, but because it's not gonna be joyful, we're not gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. So that's the point that I like to emphasize. So having this said, having this in mind, the thing that I tend to do is listen to a ton of music, because I'm a musician. I'm a drummer. I play a little bit of the keyboard, piano.
Yeah.
So that and actually the reason why I make like this, like a bit more American, a bit more quote unquote West Coast, let's say, is because of rap and hip hop. Because I grew up literally listening to like Nas and Jay-Z. And I would genuinely, kid you not, I would be, so it's just like a computer. And because I love those songs so much, I would try to learn the lyrics because it was fun. Yeah. Right? Not because I wanted to get full. Just because it was fun. It was a good time. And because I liked it so much, I wanted to sing exactly like it. So if the rapper said like, I don't really know in the song like that, I don't really know, right? I wouldn't be, saying like I don't really know nothing. I would try to repeat exactly like he said. Time and time again. Like I would genuinely spend like a good minute just trying to get one sentence right. Yeah. Because I liked it. Right? So it's fun. So listening to music, try to repeat whatever catches your attention. Not everything, of course, because then it's 1 hour, right? So that, and I would definitely say, I could recommend this to my students, is watching like videos on YouTube more specifically that tend to last in between like 3 to 5 minutes, because it's not that long. So you can pause and try to repeat, and again, anything that catches your attention. Yeah. Because if it catches their attention, it's your brain telling you, oh, wait a minute, this is important. Or this is interesting, right? Maybe you saw it already, maybe you actually know it, but you forgot. But, subjects that will be interesting for the learner. Totally. Yeah. 100%. 100%. So this is what I do, and the main thing, I do it on a daily basis. Oh yeah, that's very important. Yeah. Exactly. And then we go back to consistency. The point of making our choose. It's fun. Yeah. Like, if you like doing something, genuinely, it's like a relationship. You don't stay in a marriage or like a relationship with someone. You don't keep dating someone if you don't actually love them, right? So it's the same person. So this is what I do pretty much. That's very good. And I suppose not being afraid as well of mimicking. If you want to improve your accent, don't be afraid of mimicking what you're hearing, and to sound more like, although it's not like, how to say, completely necessary to speak like a native English speaker. But if you want to achieve that, that's totally possible. Just mimic what you hear. I think some people kind of like, they feel embarrassed, or I don't know, just feel weird of copying the accent from somewhere else, but no judgments. Like, you're already speaking a second language or a third. So just, if you want to be very good at it and to have a certain accent, just go and mimic and copy and just keep doing it. Amen. Exactly. Just before I move on, because I right now, have you ever heard of a guy called 𝗔𝗫cije𝗶𝗲? Can recall. I don't think so. From where? Give me some context. Yeah. So he was, I think I have his book here somewhere. His autobiography. Fundamentally, long story short, he was an explorer, right? Around the 1800s, I want to say. And so, like, he traveled all around the world. And from what people recount of his life, he managed to speak 29 languages.
Wow.
Right? Insane.
Yeah.
Now, the point is...
Superpower.
Yeah, no, of course. When you have someone like that, so successful in everything you try to do, of course, it kind of becomes like the legend of the guy, right? So people emphasize it, you know, create and stuff. But either way, even if he didn't speak that, what's interesting is that literally everybody that talks about this guy, they say he had a native accent in every single one.
Oh, wow.
Now, the point is, I actually read one of the interesting things that he mentions is that anytime he literally wrote this down, you know, anytime he would come across a specific sound, like syllable, something like that, in whatever language it was, if it was hard for his mouth, let's say, to adapt to actually make that sound, he would repeat it and then he specified 1,000 times per day. You know, like that.
Okay.
1,000 times per day. Because, and it makes sense because it's a physical thing, right? Because it's literally muscles that you have.
And your brain gets used to it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the point. Like, quick example: if we as physicians, right? So if I show you just like the visual, you know, feedback, if I just show you the word LOVE as a Brazil with the Brazilian accent, how would you pronounce it?
Love it. Love it.
Love it. Right? So exactly. So you wouldn't say love.
Yeah.
Because you weren't trained.
Yeah.
You know. So that's the point. So he would pay a lot of attention, you know, and then he would repeat it until he got to the point where his mouth was, you know, okay, we can do it, fine, you know. So I try to follow suit, you know, and do the same thing.
That's great. That and consistency. That's a very important thing. Yeah, for sure. And just a quick pause, just to say, if you're watching on YouTube, we are live on Instagram. Okay, so go check my Instagram. Let's just see, guys, where are you all from? Where are you watching us from? I want to see if maybe Jonatha can speak to you in your languages a little. Tell us, where are you watching us from? Okay. Okay, so let's see. Where are you guys from? Let us know. Jonatha will talk to you in your own language. Oh, there. Spain.
Spain. Okay. Don't name Spain. Let's see if the answer.
Because Spanish is so different as well, right? From Spanish from Spain and Spanish from South America and different parts of South America. So different. Chile, Costa Rica.
Regionalisms, you know, like specific words and expressions from that area. So this is why when someone says like, "Oh, I'm from Spain," I like says we get from where? Spain, you know, because if they're like yesterday on the hike, I met two girls from Barcelona. Now, because they're from Barcelona, there's a word which is called majo, you know, like M-A-Z-O, which is like dude.
Okay.
You know? Like
it's like mate or like dude, mate, yeah.
There,
yeah.
You know, so and of course they have different, you know, like read, right?
Yeah.
You know, expressions. Somehow they have their so
exactly.
Sometimes I learn these things and I say it to someone. They just got like, oh, they saw a ghost. I freaking love it. Yeah. So okay.
They feel hugged, I suppose.
Yes.
I like a good feeling of having someone that know their ways.
Totally. I love it. I think there's a Brazilian.
Someone asked me to speak in French. French is so beautiful, but it sounds so hard as well.
Yeah.
I love it. I would love to learn it, but it's just, It freaks me out a little.
It does. And the main thing with, I think, like the annoying thing with French is that the way that they write stuff and they speak completely different.
Oh, okay.
100%. You know, so. Ah, ok, le français, mais tu n'as pas portugais. Ah, d'accord. Mais tu viens d'où exactement? En France? Okay, so he's French, but he's learning Portuguese.
Oh, okay, very good.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. I asked him where he's from.
Okay.
Like in France specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if he answered right. But yeah, that's it. Arabic. I don't know Arabic. No. Voila. It's like, I think, something like that. You know? Okay. Right. So okay. So he comes from like the mountains area. You know,
Nice.
so like he said close to Switzerland and Italy.
Oh, nice.
And mountains. Yeah.
So he
I have a friend from there.
might speak a little bit of Italian then as well.
Yeah. Oh, no. Magari. So that changed like something.
Yeah.
Because this is, I don't know why, but people from France, they have a bad rep, you know, of like.
Of not wanting to learn other languages?
It's a girl. Okay, sorry about that.
Yes. No, it happens. A lot of people are asking you to learn Arabic.
Yeah, I do want to learn. It's, yes, she's actually not bad. Thank you very much. But it's definitely a language that I want to read because it's just, this is interesting.
Mm.
Like as time went on, and I met, different foreigners, right? So just like people from literally all over, especially in Rio because it's a touristic city, so you get a lot of tourists. I kid you not, of all the people that I met, and I don't say this lightly, really, of all the people that I've met until today, more specifically, Moroccans, Jordanians, Saudi Arabians, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They were like the sweetest people. Yeah, it's insane. Oh my god! Like they treated me so nicely. Like genuinely, a lot of love and respect, especially because a lot of people around the group, like if you just say Arabic, they think something like
A misconception.
Like
Yeah.
that. You know? Yeah. And I don't like that. So, but yeah, I have a lot of respect, a lot of love.
And a lot of countries do speak Arabic, so it's a big language too. And
definitely,
yeah,
100%. So I really want to learn.
I think in Brazil, I think we had a bit of Arabic influence because I don't know if you remember the novel, that's how I call it. Is it 𝗂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐚𝐭𝐨? Remember? 𝗂𝐨𝐽𝐾lone, the clone. It was a TV series from Brazil ages and ages ago. I was a teen, even younger, and we had a bit of. You don't remember the clone? You didn't watch TV then. That's why you speak so many languages. You didn't watch TV.
No,
that's good.
Actually,
Good for you.
My family is they were never really into soap opera overall. Not
Okay.
TV. Soap opera. So I just never watched it. But so how was it? Like,
well, it was a story happening in Morocco, I think, and they were showing a lot of the culture of Morocco and marriage and a girl falling in love with the boy, but it wasn't the boy that she was meant to marry, etc., etc. Then they moved to Brazil to get into context to our culture there. But there were a lot of words and phrases in Arab that I still remember some, like inshallah. When they used to get gold from, like, as a present, the girls would say inshallah. I think is like, yeah, I'm not too sure, but I know it's something to do with God, like thanks God or something. I don't know. Please correct me, guys.
Ton of expressions
And yeah, and at the time we had lots of influence from the culture and the jewelry and what else. It was very strong at the time. I think it was can't remember the year. It was probably around 2000, a little bit before that. But anyways, we did a novella. Yeah, you need to watch novella, man. You need to watch novella. But I don't even watch myself anymore nowadays, also because I'm not in Brazil. But at the time, it was different. I think things were a little bit different. Inshallah. Did I pronounce that correctly? Inshallah. And there were a few other things that I can remember right now. But Arabic is nice too. It just sounds very hard as well.
Yeah,
and the writing.
Yeah, they have like very distinct phonemes, right? So like they open sometimes. I mean, that's a Brazil. From my point of view, in some sounds they open the mouth. They stay like with this part of the throat, so it's like all the way back.
Very intense.
And we're not used to this, right? So it's like, but this is interesting. Like, if you notice the way that like our country is religious and it's history and they're part of the Middle East overall, right? So we actually have almost all the same expressions when it comes to God. Like thank God, or God forbid, or God willing, stuff like that.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's really interesting because when I started learning French, because there are so many Arabs in French, right?
Yeah.
Now, especially like younger people, teenagers, not just teenagers, people like that. Even if they don't know Arabic, they know a couple of words because they hear it so often everywhere, So like I noticed that you have like inshallah, what's the other one? It's mashallah. That's another one. Like ton, you know what I mean? And each one is like thank God, God willing, God forbid. So it's interesting. You hear it all the time. Right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely want to learn this language. Really.
And what's the next language you're looking to learn now that you mastered 6 languages?
Look, I wouldn't say I mastered 6. I would say I mastered like 5 in my German. Like I'm improving, because I can keep like a conversation in German, but definitely not close to the level that I want to reach. So my plan as of now is just to like get to really like native German, I'd say. And then so I want to get to like 10 languages and probably, and then like good, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then just maintain because just
10 like that, just 10.
Yeah, just
it's very simple.
Yeah, exactly. But because it's like seeing people like Steve Kaufman, like 𝗔𝗽liche𝗶𝗲, like YouTubers, right? That share their polyglots, self-taught polyglots. I have inspired tons too to inspire me. And there are people that get to the level of like they've already studied like more than 20 languages. It doesn't mean that they speak 20 languages, but that they have studied. And to like the work they need to do to remember all of that, oh my God, it's like it consumes your life. You know what I mean? So so I will be very happy if I know like really what to really good level. I'm like maybe 4, maybe 5, and then like to an acceptable level, let's say some other 4 or 5, and then just a tiny little bit of the other one just for fun. So the next one after German, I have this plan. So like Russian, I have worked with lots of Russians and Ukrainians, so I know a couple of words as well.
That's on my list as well.
Always loves Japanese culture. It's everything. Freaking love it. So Japanese, and then Chinese, and then
that's it.
Yeah, right. So
and the languages that you do speak now, which one is your favorite?
That's a tough I usually get torn, between two languages. I would say, so I feel like I have to say this, like English and French, because English is the first language that I learned, the Portuguese. Portuguese, you don't
really count.
Yeah, you're born.
Yeah.
That's it. So anyway, it didn't really like made a plan to learn. Is that I spent so much time with language and kind of injured, right? So that, but French, I have a very deep love for French because it was the first language that I learned as an adult. Meaning that, like, I had to plan it out. You know what I mean? Like, I tried, I failed, I gave it up, stopped studying for like almost a month, and then I was like, no, come on, we gotta go back, right? So I did, and then I started to, like, fundamentally, it was the language that made me feel bad for not learning.
Okay. And then you had to
it
overcome.
Really, yeah,
it was a challenge. Yeah.
And then for sure, it pushed me to be like, how does this work? But like learning language, how does this even work? I don't know. Because maybe you up to this. Let me ask you that. Like in the past, or throughout the time, right? This time in life, have you been asked by Brazilians or just people overall, like, how did you learn English? How did you learn English?
Yeah, with me, as I said at the beginning, I had to, because I moved to Ireland when I was 21 years old. I didn't, but let's say my level was A1, A2 at the time. You know, before you leave Brazil, you think you do know something in English, but then when you do have to speak to someone, or when you mainly when you get out of Brazil, you see that you don't speak anything really. So yeah, my English was really poor when I moved here, and I learned I came to study English. I went to English schools here. I also worked here, so my daily activities, like going to the shop, but anything really was would help me learning at the time. But mainly the school, also with work. I used to work looking after 5 kids, and I say that working with kids also helps a lot. Of course, that's not for everyone. I'm aware that what you said there at the beginning has to be what you like to do. So at the time, looking after kids really helped me. And kids are very, they're so, they're so like not afraid of, there are no judgments with kids, and they're so patient, and they everything it's fun and play, so you feel more comfortable learning with them and making mistakes with them. But yeah, I learned English moving to Ireland. Of course, every day is a new learning here. But there are other ways, for sure. There are many other ways, like your live example, that you don't even need to get out of your home country to learn a language. But yeah, that's how I learned.
Okay. No, but look, I asked you that because this was just to close on my point, is like I used to get asked this literally all the time, especially during school. Because I was like the nerd, right? So it's like, oh yeah, he's the guy that knows, so sit behind him when the exam comes.
Yeah.
You just copy everything. So but the problem is, some people would ask, like sometimes after we got the exams and with the grades and everything, I would get asked like friends like, dude, why put this incorrect? Like in their exam, right? And then I would explain, well, no, yeah, because here you should use this conjugation, this word. And then sometimes they would look at me like, well, how do you know that? Like, how did you, why, what happened in your brain that you learned? And I would feel bad because I would always be like, I don't know. I don't understand what happened. It just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. So going back to the point of like my favorite language, why I tend to say French or French English, is because I suffered, let's say, I had to endure the process of trying to learn French as an adult. I had to look it up. I felt obligated to to like read as many books as I could.
To immerse yourself.
Learning. Yeah. Learning, like learning from a neuroscientific point of view. Like what happens here when you learn, why how can we optimize learning? So I had to I literally everything I could. I watched a ton of conferences and lectures and stuff like that, and like articles and stuff, and then it actually worked. So I had to work to get.
Yeah. Of course, yes, there is the part of study as well that I didn't mention. It's not only being immersed, you have to study as well. There's no easy way to get there. You have to study, you have to read a lot, you have to practice a lot. And there's no miracle, it's hard work. Any language that you try to learn is hard work. But if you do, like you said, if you do love the language and if you're motivated, like if you like the culture, like Japan, for example, if you're motivated to learn, to know more of the culture, you will do it easier than if you didn't have anything like intense, like a connection with the culture or the language itself.
Yeah. Totally. So that's it. So I would say these are my favorite ones, and I feel like these are the two languages, so English and French, that shaped me most as a personal world. So as a teacher, as a man, as an individual, because of the books that I had access to through English, through French, the people I met, the authors, book writers, musicians, artists that I found out because of these languages that completely changed my life. So when I look back at it, I think back to the whole process of the albums I listened and the videos I watched, the conferences, everything. It's just so much, man. It's so much. It enriched my life to a point that it's crazy, So, and that's what I advocate people, to people. It's use the language as a bridge to have access to what you want, right? To think that you genuinely love it, transform your life, not just something for your ritual. You know what I mean? It needs to be in your life. It's like us, we're Brazilians. Portuguese isn't something we use for work. You know what I mean? It's everything, right? It's who we are. It's our relationship. It's funny stuff. It's drama. It's our sad or happy. It needs to be like that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point. Guys, if you have any questions for Jonathan, we are coming close to a 50 minutes live now. It's a long live. If you have any questions, guys, that's the time now. Shoot your questions to Jonathan, to me if you have any, but mainly to Jonathan. Jonathan, do you want to tell us a little bit about your course? Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So,
how do you help your students there? And please.
Yeah, 100%. So currently, the course I launched is it's not open, let's say like that, because we opened just for one class, right? So now we're planning to reopen the next month, so October, right? Probably the 15th, something like that, middle of the month, right? I'm gonna announce it on Instagram. But what is open, however, is something that I'm really happy to have been able to lead people like that. Is in Portuguese we call it community, right? It's more like a cohort. It's just like a group of people. If you check the word cohort, it's a technical word. It's like a group of people with shared characteristics.
Okay.
Right? So it's so fundamentally it's just a group of people, right? You can pay just to including your force and the students and everybody that is focused on learning languages, and it's really serious on it, right? So it's what do we do to learn faster, to actually successfully learn a language, whatever it is, whichever language it is. English, Japanese, Greek, doesn't matter. It's because the principles are the same, right? So we have people that are learning. I don't know what word, so that's most people are learning English. Of course, some people are focusing on British English. Most people, I would say, American North American English, so Canadian, stuff like that. We have a French girl, actually, that's learning Portuguese.
Okay, nice.
Her boyfriend is learning French as well. We have a couple of Latinos that are learning Portuguese and want to improve their English too. So
nice.
It's just a group that is like 100% focused on learning languages, right? And like sharing apps that they use and podcasts they found or like the YouTube channel. And I send a lot of like activities, so like homework. So it's like I have, for example, because I have so many foreign friends, thankfully, that meet in Rio and stuff like that, or even through Instagram, we exchange like voice messages. So sometimes I share those voice messages, so it's like they have to try to understand what's happening. And then it's like native speakers, so it's real English, it's real French. Yeah. It's not like it's genuine stuff, you know. So that we also have live transmissions that I on Instagram that I believe like a platform, a study platform with PDFs like for each one with like a bunch of book references and stuff like that are available, and then also closed access lives just for the people from the cohort where I answer their questions and then we practice other languages. We have a Discord service to practice other languages. So point is, since I'm presenting, of course, most of the things that we tend to exchange when it comes to information are Portuguese. So if anyone of you guys that are just now is currently learning Portuguese, or I don't know, like you're Brazilian, you're really struggling with some language, feel free to check the community, the cohort. You can send me a message. Okay, you can hit me up, and then I'll explain to you how it works, and I will be more than happy to have you guys there. Like the messages I get sometimes, it's amazing. Like it makes me so happy when I see someone like the person that I told you that I learned that sent me a message on the group. I was just shocked. Like, how is this even possible? He said, "John, thanks so much. I've been trying to learn or get hold of Dutch for 2 years now. Haven't gotten like any progress whatsoever. And now that I've been like following your stuff and focusing a little more, I'm starting to see the results. For the first time, I managed to speak to my daughter."
Oh, nice. That's very touching.
God, that's crazy.
Because I think it's very hard as well for some people to study by themselves. So you do guide them on how to study by yourself. It is hard for some people to sit down, have a schedule, what to do today, where to start from to study by yourself. It's not that easy for some people. I, for one, like I wouldn't like studying by myself. It's not as easy for me. So I do need someone to guide me where to start from, what to do now. So it's very good what you do, because you do guide people to learn by themselves so they can learn any language. So it's really good. Your idea is amazing. Well done to you for that as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And you did get a comment there. You have a fan. Let me just see. Oh, it's gone now. But someone told you here that they find you an inspiration. I can't find the comment anymore. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You are so in English, 𝗔𝗽cie𝗶𝗲. Jonathan, you are literally my inspirational thinker. My inspirations learn English and become bilingual, and in the future, other languages as well. Dude, thank you so much.
So nice.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and guys, go check Jonathan's page. It's very cool, and he shares his trails, right? My camera is off there on YouTube. And so it's very cool because you do share your part of your life. You know, you probably do that as a hobby for yourself, and then you record your interaction with other people and surprising them with your language skills, and it's so cool, so interesting. Go check it out, everyone, on Jonathan's page. And is there anything else you'd like to share, or would you like to leave a message for language learners out there?
Yes, for sure. So 2 things, because I did mention that like, my favorite languages, let's say, are English and French. So there are actually two quotes or sayings that one is a quote, the other one is a saying, actually. So that I freaking love, and I like to like list, quotes that I see in languages, like Portuguese or stuff like that, just to that feel like strengthen my mindset. You know what I mean? And just make me more motivated. So the first one in English is, let me even see if I wrote it down, just because I don't want to misspeak it. It's oh, there. So it's do what you can with what you have. It's the quote from Theodore Roosevelt. At least it's true. But I live by this because one detail that I did not mention to you, even before the live started, I don't think you know, is that 2021 my father had a stroke.
Right.
Like it was, I think August, September. Approaching the end of the year, she actually, fortunately, she had a stroke. And then what happened was they had to balance everything in the sense of like the language learning, doing business, and taking care of the house, the family. And I was like planning to move out, and it's just really so she's doing, they now, thank God. But
thank God, yeah.
The point is, like, let's imagine that in that situation, I was the person that I was thinking of, like, okay, I want to learn Italian, whatever. Okay, so let me travel, and then, like, I would be destroyed if that was my plan because, because my aim was another one. So I like to keep this and reinforce this, way of thinking, this mindset, even if it's like it's a cliche word, it's not a bit of a mindset, but this is the way of living, interpreting life, that you can get to like do anything that you want as long as you genuinely put your mind to it, even if it's not, if it sounds cliche, it is true, so, and by the way, cliches exist for a reason, right? Like, it's because it's so true that we keep saying, right?
Yeah.
So that one, and the other one is French. It's like a philosophical thing that some French people say sometimes, which is, in French is choisir, c'est renoncer. So it's like to choose is to renounce. So like,
yeah.
it is. I mean, like, if you just think literally, like, we chose to do this tonight. So like, you could be doing something else, but we chose to do this. We chose like try to exactly get this information, knowledge, and spread it to people. So like every single choice in lack thereof, right, we will create another reality. Positive one, negative one, you're gonna, so it's like really reflect on this. Like, what am I choosing? What am I advocating? What am I leaving behind? For the future, my future self, my future reality. So I like to keep these two in my mind at all times, just to be like, okay, this is the way. I'm on the right track, So yeah, leave the two quotes, sayings for everybody because they help change my abroad and just strengthen my mindset of like, okay, learn languages, help people, live life to the fullest. Let's freaking go. Don't cry. Don't complain. Just go. So
that's very inspiring. Thank you. Thanks for that too. I'll take that for myself as well because I'm still a language learner, and hopefully I'll keep it on and learning other languages as well. And thank you very much for being here today. I think it was very inspiring for sure because it's not easy what you do. You have another comment there. Brazilian living in Portugal, working to Spanish people actually in a trip in Hamburg. You're my inspiration to learn French, Dutch, and thank you. Oh, that's nice.
That's awesome.
It's nice to see that you're inspiring a lot of people to change and to achieve something good.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's so cool. Thank you so much.
And thank you all for watching. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much for being here today. It was really inspiring and really good to have you here and hear your story. And if any of you out there want to be directed on how to learn a language, talk to Jonathan. He will guide you through how to learn a new language by yourself.
That's it. Thank you so much. This was great. And look, if you ever want to do this again, just let me know. Okay? You get to like release something, you drop me a message, and we do this again.
For sure. Yeah, I think it was, that there's definitely more subjects that we can talk about it next time for sure. And guys, thank you all for watching as well. Nice comments. And thank you everybody. I think that's it. 1 hour already now. That was a long live. It was so good. It was, you know, sweet and long, but nice, and you know, it wasn't heavy. The shot just flew. Yeah. Thank you very much. Great, thank you. We will do that again next time when we have something else coming up. Thank you, everyone. Okay, guys, have a good evening, everyone. And see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye, everyone.